Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, taking over for Nerdarchy once again, just for 10 minutes or so. So, what we have for the latest comic books is, oh, wait, we're going to need to drop the whole thing. Oh, it's coming down. Okay, so the latest comic books that we have, issue number 794 of Amazing Spider-Man. Guys, Dan Slott has been writing for the Amazing Spider-Man for 10 years now, for longer than 10 years. Oh my God, he's been writing for so long. Many people enjoyed it, some people didn't. Whatever. This is going to be his final arc for Spider-Man. I think it's going to be 6 issues or so, and he's introducing what's called the Red Goblin. So, I had my suspicions. Everybody had their suspicions. Some of us were right. I was right. What's going to happen here? Well, let's just say that Harry Osborn found something that he's been looking for a little while to give him an edge against Spider-Man. What could that edge possibly be? Well, let's just give you a hint. What's Carnage been doing lately? Ooh, yeah, that bad. Okay, moving on from there, let's take a look at Detective Comics 973. Okay, Batwoman has finally done it. We knew that she was going to do something because of the prophecy, all right? She was going to do something that was going to split up the Bat family. Well, it actually happens here, and it involves a bullet to Clayface. You might be saying, how could a bullet affect Clayface? Read the comic. This ends an arc. This is going to start something entirely new, where Detective Comics no longer has a full and proper Bat family. She breaks up the family in a really bad way. All right. So moving on from there, we have Legion, issue number 1. This is the son of Professor X, and we got a 5-part series here. I think this is going to be pretty good. This is very expansive. It deals with Mr. Trauma. That's one of his many personalities. I'm liking where the direction of this comic is going. All right. After that, we have Doomsday Clock, issue number 3. Okay, unfortunately, the bad news that I have about this comic book is from this point on, it will not be released monthly. It'll be released every other month. That is sad, especially considering the fact that this comic is so good, so in-depth. There's so many spoilers and Easter eggs inside this comic. And I'm talking about this comic title, that it's nuts. There's only going to be 12 issues. Unfortunately, they're going to come out once every 2 months now. That's very disappointing. All right, Inhumans Judgment Day, issue number 1. That's right. 2 different comics are going to be combined into this one comic. It's almost like they're combining servers in this. There were too many Inhuman comics out, and the direction was way too wild, so we're going to start reining some of this stuff in now. And at one point, a 3rd Inhumans comic is going to be canceled only because it's critically acclaimed, but again, too many Inhumans comic books coming out right now. So they're going to finish up that particular story arc and have it meld into this comic as well. The X-Men were just bought back by by Disney. So Marvel now has the X-Men back. It'll be approximately a year before we see them in the comic books in the movies. But as far as the comic books, that's an automatic given. They have already come back into full extent, so people don't really want to see the Inhumans as much anymore. But the story is still very intense, very immersive, so I would give it a shot. I would give it a look at for this alternate version. I mean, I'm just saying, this is a Dungeons & Dragons channel that I've taken over, right? So the Inhumans, very different offshoot of humanity. There's a lot of really great storytelling in here, role-playing wise. All right. Nightwing, The New Order, issue number 6 of 6. This is going to wrap up an Elseworld story, an alternate universe futuristic story, where we see that Nightwing has taken away the powers of 90% of the world's population, the world's heroic population. Then we find out that his son has superpowers too. What's he going to do? What's everybody else around him going to do? This story wraps it up, and it's pretty interesting. Now, we're going to move over to another DC title, Raven, Daughter of Darkness. This is going to be a 12-issue miniseries, also limited series as well. Issue number 1 just dropped. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. So far, it doesn't look like her father, Trigon, is going to be a major aspect of this, although it's hinted that he's in it, or that he's going to be in it. We find out that it's not actually the case. You're going to have to read the comic book for more, or at the very least, check out my review over on Comic Book University. This is really good, especially since we've probably had enough with the whole, oh, it's Raven, when's Trigon going to show up? No, this is a very different take on the character, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this week in comics. Now, let's take a quick look at what I'm doing over in Comic Book University with the Marvel Superheroes Advanced Role-Playing Game System. Drop that one also. All right, guys, like I always say, it's just a taste. You want more, come on over to Comic Book University and see the whole video. And I'll tell you what, I absolutely love that so many people do check out those videos, all right? It does my heart well. It swells my heart with pride that so many, and not personal pride, pride in the love that I have for this system that Dave keeps on calling dead. It's not dead, man. It's not dead if people keep on bringing it back from the dead, all right? It's alive, it's breathing, it's an organism. Stop it. So, yeah, come on over and check it out. I'm going to finish up Character Creation Part 2 of 2 in this particular week, and then we'll see what we're going to do next week. In the meantime, I'm also doing my Spotlights on Stories and my Characters Explained in a Minute, and She-Venom is the big topic. If you're looking over in the Sony cinematic universe for Marvel's version, it's looking like the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe proper, is privately endorsing the idea of having Tom Holland actually be a part of the Sony Spider-Man verse. Sony is really the last bastion of ownership for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Spider-Man, their biggest character, right? Spider-Man is still owned by Sony. So they got the Fantastic Four back at Marvel. They got the X-Men back at Marvel, but Sony is not going to let go of Spider-Man anytime soon. That's fine, as long as they keep on working with them. Well, it's looking like Marvel might help out in some ways, allow certain things to allow that Venom, played by Tom Hardy, may partially be in the cinematic universe. Okay, partially, just by reference only. What's cool, though, is that they just got finished casting Michelle Williams. You at the very least know her from, like, Brokeback Mountain and from Dawson's Creek, all right? If you don't know her past that, you probably don't know that she's actually a fantastic actress. This woman is amazing. Her acting is on point. And she's going to be playing the wife, the ex-wife of Eddie Brock, Venom. This is interesting because at one point in the comic book, she played She-Venom, or the bride of Venom. She's the first character who really got the symbiote besides Venom and Spider-Man proper. So, interesting. And I explained all of this in about a minute, 23 seconds, something to that effect. Very immersive, very intense also. And I'm going to explain a 5-issue storyline that happened called Sinner Takes All. So, and that's also going to introduce a lot of you guys to a character called Sin Eater. Interesting character. Very interesting character. All right, guys. That's it for me, and I will see you guys next week when I take over Nerdarchy again. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.